Fest. That is all ahead, but we begin this morning with efforts to help hundreds of people in our area still trying to rebuild their lives after devastating floods last month. Back in May, heavy rain unleashed flash flooding in Yates County. Several communities were impacted, especially Penn Yan, which experienced severe damage. Homes destroyed, some people left with very little, and some of those people still need your help nearly 1 month after that event. To talk more about relief efforts going on, we welcome Ryan Hollings from Lions National Bank and Steve Griffin from the Finger Lakes Economic Development Center. Guys, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you, Pat.
Ryan, if we can, let's start with you. You're a resident. Both of you guys, I should mention, are residents of Penn Yan. Lions National Bank really stepped up to help out. What is your role to help those impacted by the storms?
Yeah, thank you, Pat. I'm a commercial and agricultural loan officer at the bank. We have a pretty good handle on a lot of small businesses in the area, and those are some of the most significantly impacted by the flood damage. So we've really just tried to make ourselves available to them, help them out privately with loans, and sometimes with a shovel.
And that's the thing. It's so overwhelming to know where to begin, and a lot of it comes down to finances. So what are the questions you're helping people answer right now?
I think initially, and Steve can chime in on this too, folks had a lot of questions about insurance coverage, what was going to be covered and what was not going to be covered. But at the end of the day, they needed to get back open, and so they had machinery and equipment to replace to get their doors back open, and so the loans are to pay for those capital items.
Yeah, we'll talk about that loan program in a moment. If you can expand upon the center's role to help folks out that have been impacted by the storms.
Sure. With our agency, our main focus, we are the main economic development organization for Yates County. And what we were trying to do here was field a lot of the questions from the businesses, help them navigate through the state and federal programs that are out there for help. When can they get the help? How's it coming? What do they have to do to get the funds? And then specifically, we opened up our loan fund to a 0% interest fund. We put $150,000 of our money out there for those businesses to apply, just to try to help get them going as quickly as they could with flexible payment terms and such. And then Lions National Bank came in same time on their own and said, hey, we can jump in and help expand that pool.
Yeah, and we've heard so much, the state declared a state of emergency in this area, which opens up funding to help these folks, but it's not like that check arrives the next day. We're talking months.
The state did it's a first of its kind program from what we understand, and it's extremely helpful. Lieutenant Governor Duffy and Governor Cuomo responded quickly with the program. The funding is great. It's not enough in hardly any case to actually cover the loss from either the individual households or the businesses themselves, which is where the loan funds have to come in to help, especially for the businesses, help bridge that gap.
Yeah. And how many people have signed up for the loan program?
We currently have 6 loans that have already been approved, and money has been actually distributed out this week, actually already to those businesses. 150,000 of it is already out in the community. We probably have another 6 to 10 applications in the process coming to us.
Okay. What is the process like? Who qualifies for these loans?
That's a good question.
If you're a Yates County business, you're eligible. And you just have to come to us. We have an application on our website that they can fill out, and we go through a process of looking at how much funds they've received either already from the state programs or other fund relief programs that are out there, and run through a series of questions that they would expect, revenues, and we do ask for some tax returns. But it's a quick process. We turned around the first $150,000. It was within 2 weeks the businesses had the money.
Wow. And Steve, you're doing all of this, and you were mentioning earlier when we were speaking that you were directly impacted by the floodwaters as well.
We actually operate in Penn Yan. We have a multi-tenant facility that houses about 22 different businesses, and the number of our buildings, probably roughly 20 to 30,000 square feet, had some effects from the water and from mud, and so we're still in the process, quite honestly, of cleaning some of that up.
Wow, and that's the thing, it dominated headlines when this initially happened, and a couple of weeks thereafter, but folks are still need help, right? Things aren't completely 100% at this point. If you can paint a picture for those that might have forgotten about this after the storms.
I think we're still seeing emails come across that volunteer help is still needed. I know for the large part, the cleanup effort has passed. The muddy and the muck is gone, but there's still a need for volunteers to come in and help individuals get their homes back in order. And I know Steve is fielding questions at his agency for businesses in need of help. The Keuka Housing Council in Penn Yan and the Living Well the Methodist Church are fielding questions and helping organize volunteers.
Yeah, and Lions National Bank, you guys have a branch in Penn Yan, and from what I understand,
Yes.
employees really going out there in the community doing what they can with,
Yeah.
with their hands to help those folks. Can you tell me what some of the
We've
stories?
had a number of our employees at the branch that have been out and actually in work boots and shovels trying to help out with the flood relief effort immediately afterwards, and still today by volunteering. And we're really appreciative of our executive management team and the board for setting aside the $250,000 at 0% to Steve's organization. You know, we had full confidence they would get the money out in an efficient manner, and we wanted to make one loan to them, very flexible repayment terms and 0% interest.
Yeah. Is there things that people can't give money? Are there items that folks still need in Penn Yan that you're aware of?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways actually that would really help the area. One of the things we've heard from the downtown merchants especially saying is that we are back open for business. I mentioned to you earlier, you'd have a hard time knowing if you drove through Penn Yan now that there was a flood.
Right.
And we've heard a lot of the merchants saying we need the shoppers to return. We need our tourists to come back into the village and shop. So, I think that's one way is if you've come to Penn Yan before or you want to come to Cuca Lake, we're open. The businesses are open.
Yeah.
That's an easy way to help even some of the businesses that weren't affected by the flood directly come back down to Main Street and Penn Yan and help shop. And there are there's actually a lot of donations have poured in. It's been unbelievable support that the community has seen. I honestly think right now, either volunteer help to help these businesses rebuild, or if you want to donate, there's a number of ways in which you can do that. You can go to our website, which is www.fingerlakesedc.com. We have applications for the businesses that need the loans themselves. If you want to donate money, there's a couple different ways you can do it on our site that show where 100% of those funds will make their way back to the businesses.
Wow. Very lucky to have your agency and Lions National Bank there helping these folks impacted, including yourselves, from these storms. And we wish Penn Yan and Yates County the best of luck as they rebuild. Want to go ahead and give you information. Your website you just mentioned, Lions National Bank, bankwithlnb.com. You can also find information on how to donate on WHEC.com. Just click on WHEC Cares. All right, still to come.